I think our football team showed a tough, gutsy win on Saturday night, showed a lot of resiliency, was really excited how we finished. I think the 3rd and 2 stop by our defense, and the 4th down conversion on offense, and then it's allowing us to go down and win the football game in the fashion that we did. I hope it's going to say a lot about the character of our football team and the character of our kids and the way that our coaching staff and players continue to battle. We've relished in that, but we've quickly moved past that, and we've got a very tough opponent this weekend on the road at SMU, 11 o'clock game in Dallas against a great opponent. Coach Lashley has done a really good job since he's been there. They've done a phenomenal job recruiting. They have a lot of talent on both defense and offense, in particular in the skill positions on both sides of the football. I know their defensive line is very deep. And so we have a huge challenge for our football team. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how much we improve on defense, offense, and special teams in particular this week and taking that next step for our football program.
How big an advantage do you think it'll be that you guys have a game under your belt while SMU is coming into their first game?
Well, I think that anytime it works both ways. I think our guys from the first game nerves, I think will be a little bit more calmer when it comes to settling in and playing a football game. We're in the rhythm and the routine of playing in terms of our game week. So this is our first game week in terms of playing on a short week. I think our guys love to play. They love to compete. And so I think, from that standpoint, our kids still haven't started school, being on the quarter system. And so we want to use that to an advantage from the standpoint of our preparation and have our players have more time to study their opponent. And so they're going to be a good team. They're going to be ready to play. They're going to have first game excitement. And I think once you settle in, the execution for both teams is really going to be the difference in what allows one to win or lose.
What's your assessment of Preston? If I remember correctly, I think you offered him actually while you're at TCU. What's your familiarity with him?
I was not as familiar with Preston, just in terms of I know who he is. Yes, we did. And as I was transitioning from TCU to Texas Tech, in the recruitment of him, he's a really talented player, throws the ball really well. I think he has a lot of grit to him. He's a competitive kid, and so I know watching him in high school, he's highly successful. He knows how to win. So, it's going to be a big challenge for us. Well, I think even if everybody was playing, I would think he would probably take the cake this week. I mean, the way he played Saturday night, it was amazing. I mean, he was in the zone. He just went beast mode on the whole thing. We just threw him the ball, and he made everybody miss and broke tackles. And it's amazing, his ability to break tackles and to make people miss. And I think our kids feed off that. I think on offense, our players feed off his energy. And I think our kids fed off Hank's energy, his competitive spirit. I think both of those guys, our offensive line was in a good frame of mind. And so, I think that, credit to FIU. They did a nice job on punt as far as, really keeping smoke out of the game that way. But, getting the football as many times as we did. And he made 129 yards off of yak yards, and he had 155. And so that was a lot of him making people miss and doing what he does best. And I hope to see his improvement to continue, because I think he's came back for a reason. And I think, it's one game into it, but it's a great story of somebody staying the course in a place that they've had a lot of success, at the place that they've had, really a legacy that they've built, and wanting to continue to finish out that legacy in the right way. Albeit we got 11 more games to do that and a lot more ahead of us. But I was really proud of how he played and performed and how our team on offense and defense fed off of him.
Do you have any update on the running back room? Obviously, you guys went pretty deep on Saturday with guys that got to play. Any injury update?
Yeah, we talk at the beginning of fall camp, and the players say it, and I think they've seen it come to fruition in that position. Threes become twos, fours become threes, and twos become ones very quickly. And that's where the importance of the depth and the competition. And Coach Ville's done a phenomenal job of teaching the running backs, all of the running backs. And I think Tyree Shelton was out there today and was moving around as good as he's moved around since we've last seen him practice. And so encouraged by him. Keldrick Moody is taking the reps, and then also with Jacob and Keith. I think it's pretty much an open competition this week. And Dyson Fields just joined us a couple of weeks ago from Ruston High. He's a talented young man and really just hasn't been with us, long enough to get into the flow, but he's done some good things too. And so it'll be by committee and who has the hot hand and really who has the best week of practice. And I think we have some very eager players that want to prove that they can carry the football for us on offense. Charvis was out there moving around a little bit as well. And so I think both of them will probably be game time decisions.
Now, you weren't here 2 years ago, but SMU came into Ruston and a Hail Mary believe last second as time expired, they took a game from you. Do you think it's personal for some of your players who were here for that game?
I was just talking to Smoke about that, and then it's kind of like a wound that you don't really want to pull the Band-Aid off of. And so I remember, obviously that was the year before I came, and it was a season for that team where they were very close in a lot of games, and that being one of them. And I'm sure that the guys that were on that team and were there remember it. And I know that there's been a lot of turnover on each roster. And so I know both teams are very different than what it looked like 2 years ago. But anytime that you're able to win a game like that, or to lose a game like that, that'll stick with you.
We have any questions from Zoom? Nope, we're good? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.